getting pressured out, playing on the vicinity of the smoke.
And there are 3 players already flanking. Fusion don't have any sentinel to watch this flank.
Burst on through, and you still have Askia. Askia, again, hasn't been forced to move around whatsoever. Safe in the back, and he ends up getting free. He runs into a molly. He's fine for now, and raafa cleans up the job. Here for Fusion, over towards the mid side. It's Fusion finally making their first step potentially into the round. They're finally pulling up into mid. You still have a player over towards long, but no! Edu through the smoke, picking up Pank, and Askia couldn't do anything with the op. It all breaks apart for Union. 2-man advantage for Fusion. You still have raafa up close, but Theory shuts him out.
Cover. And it is because of, I think, the space that Verdi was able to establish that gets him all the way up over towards B lane. Theory, and allowed him to cross through.
Yeah,
and I don't think he knows.
There goes Theory. Takes down the one. There's still another one over towards spawn. But Askia, he's cutting down the space too. It's a push and pull. Askia, all the way in spawn, picks up the kill onto Meathead, can go back into B. But B has already been taken.
I think Edu here will have to make a decision. Where do you pop that ult? And he's gone in towards defender spawn, but they're not pushing it. They're just getting the spike down.
Oh, Darker goes in to try to shock Gu, to try to split the goalpost. Snake Bites definitely has a chance. Theory, he's running into a flank, and Askia didn't hear him at all. That's a gift for Theory. But here comes now the man advantage for Union. Edu picking up one. raafa does pick up the kill onto Theory, and now it becomes basically impossible for Edu.
This is brilliant!
One more to go for Edu. How has he done this? raafa! There goes the wall again. Askia has a bit of help with the KO ult, but even then, the stinger in the hands of Darker. The ultimate is about to go away. The overdrive is about to come back. NTK has the cross.
And they've elected to just cancel and hold for the retake. Maintain his backside control, but as that smoke fades, Verdi goes down.
No, there goes the ultimate though. This Viper's Pit is going to help out Fusion so much with the lockdown. And
that's a punish.
That gives Union the sight back potentially. There goes the shocks. It's taking away Theory bit by bit. 42 HP left on Theory. Theory needs to run away. This round should be theirs. The classic is there. Oh, the molly could have absolutely helped Theory though.
They're gonna knife him.
Fury at the same time for NTK, but here comes a big push coming out from Fusion. It's gonna be 4 players here, and there, like you said, Huntress Fury coming out early to try to punish Fusion, to try to funnel them essentially, but it just doesn't work. Verdi instead beelining it towards spawn, almost tried to find Pank. NTK is still alive. raafa over at mid, trying to rotate back into A, gets shut down by Theory. They are all over towards the pit position though. Do they find Verdi? Verdi in a beautiful position. Do they actually peek him? Askia is able to pick one back off of the op. The op is probably going to be very important for the rest of this half. Hopefully they keep it. Still going to be Edu holding down the first contact, but they still don't know about Verdi. Verdi is coming in all the way towards spawn. Still the man advantage for Fusion.
You see the barrel too?
The man advantage was always there for Fusion. They always... Is he using it as a flank, or is he getting it as this information? He's jumping through. Art, he finally jumps out. Gu alongside Verdi. It's Gu getting taken down by Verdi. There goes Theory taking down NTK, but you still have raafa. raafa looking for a one-tap, but can't find anything. So overwhelming by Fusion.
And left onto just 2. Askia and Pank who needs this kill.
It's only Pank now. For Askia. Big setup surely of Theory.
I'm really not a big fan of this from Fusion. Rotating towards A, I would honestly just gamble this towards B as soon as that contact's made. This is a Union team that pride themselves on their post plans. We've seen on Pearl how many times they get into setups and how many times they win.
Here comes raafa, already cutting down the retake. At the spawn of it, there goes at least Fusion.
That's a great fault line.
The fault line is absolutely insane because Verdi finds a red carpet to find too. It's NTK alongside Pank. All the way over and long. There's not a lot of util here. Edu doesn't have everything. But here comes the shock dart. Shock dart doesn't connect. It was only the one shot. Verdi is all alone.
And they just cut his info off. Verdi's kind of on an island right now. I love the old pop, and we'll see what he can do.
No, did he just stun himself? Poor Verdi, and now Theory gets exposed. Same thing with Darker. It's all a disaster for Fusion. Meathead and Edu. Last 2 remaining to actually pick up the pieces, but yeah, Union essentially one by one finding a couple of gifts. Now Pank.
For any damage here, Edu. He does get one. Maybe charge up the ult here as well for a little bit. The last round of Ascent. That's where Fusion unfortunately fell flat a little bit.
Right.
Giving up a lot of space to the Union early on in these rounds. Already arriving here from Fusion. And Gu's going to look for space here. I like this quick recognition. They've split themselves up and they won't give an easy spray down. You have to play the ones here.
Now everyone else from the Union Focusing up on site now. This is a huge reposition for the Union. This is just a second angle for them to crossfire on site. And Pank! Do they need anything else? Do they need anyone else? Pank picking up 3 easily, make it a 4th! All this empty space here for the Union. Fusion, they're not actually looking to close down on it at the moment. Verdi, he's just watching the edge of this. They don't actually have a smoke fully covering that Hunter's Fury. It's only potentially hitting down on one. The Hunter's Fury maybe just a little bit off the lockdown, giving them a little bit more space, but Fusion have already gone down to so many players. The Union now down to 2. Askia, NTK, looking to fight all the way back. This is a huge hit for Askia. Askia starts it off with 1. NTK around the corner, but it's all Askia. Meet
Askia
could all go down to the blades of Askia. 1 more to go. Theory cooking up, whipping up a way to get back into this round. NTK and Askia find angles right onto Theory. The breach alongside the Neon. They have so much potential here in this position, but how's the first contact actually going to work out? Meathead on top of the box. Askia doesn't see him, but Askia almost gets all 3, and he breaks open Art at the same time. Surely it's all over. No, Darker coming around the corner. He gets 1. Could have made it all possible, though, and now it's all Theory. Theory, 1v3.
A Guardian in a dream. Viper's Pit left over. If he can even get onto site, an alarm bot just already waiting for him.
Been spotted, still has a Viper's Pit potentially to use. But the util is all here for the Union. Double nanos, nade, a knife. Multiple stars to go. Viper's Pit does help out, and it does come out in Theory. Finally gets funneled. The Union take away the first.
And again, similar fashion to the way that the first map played out when they played Pearl, 13-7. And look at the wall that's been thrown up by raafa. They're going to try and isolate a fight towards defender spawn.
Askia spraying away, everyone else spraying away in the middle of spawn, but not a single bullet getting hit. Everyone from Fusion still alive, and everyone on this side of the map.
I'm a big fan of the way that this is going for Fusion. They've been able to retake all the way towards Sands and spawn. This is a good point here to focus on A main.
Not a lot of utility here to use here. If you're Union, here comes MTK, still has double flash, but he finally goes down. Good stuff from Edu. 2-man advantage from Fusion. They've really chipped it down now for raafa and Gu. Now start to scratch their heads. They have no idea when the defuse is coming in, but now it finally goes through the smoke. It's all on Gu. Gu lines up 1, but it's only the 1.
For now, Union are kind of split apart. This is the first time we're really seeing a 3-man exec.
Oh, Fusion are just reinvesting into this with the repositioning from Darker, but however, Meathead gets exposed, and Verdi can't do any more. Darker, with his reposition, he no longer has an eye now on this take from Union.
Planted.
Cleanly into sight. Now these SMGs of Fusion are going to have to do a lot of work.
Yeah, this wall has just been such an issue for a lot of teams trying to make a retake happen on the A site. Union, I have to say, I think this one's a done deal. They're just so good in these post plans. Unless Fusion can crunch in this A main, the reason why Union are so good on this A site is because of the setups and the crossfires that they have. You can see here already.
NTK is going to be that first pick, but like you said, there's layers to this. Multiple players here from Union lined up to try to take this battle. Double on site, double over towards
combo here that could happen if there was one of the ultimates here, but neither.
Yeah, but there are so many players here. 3 players here. Verdi knocking in the first. Meathead getting in another kill. NTK getting pressured out. Still has a little bit of util to get himself the heck out. But he's the only one here. Needs to somehow get the spike back. He does.
We saw finally the combo between Darker and Verdi.
Oh no,
the res comes through.
Oh, Verdi! He almost lines up all of them. NTK once again having to actually isolates Darker potentially. Surely they know about Darker. Darker with a stun, and he's down. This has given Union a bit of a chance. Edu, yeah, he's been isolated, but can he actually get an angle in on NTK? NTK, he's been revealed. He has a little bit of util to use, but with 25 HP, he needs to run for the hills. They don't have the angle. They only need 1 bullet to get him, though, and they finally get him. Pank, this is an unbelievable angle. The trip. Can he actually get the bullet in onto Edu? Theory is down incredibly low. Pank now has to dance. He has the tower to use. Defuse is finally going in, though. Alarm bot in his face. He gets revealed. Edu off the spike, but what a jump peek from Pank. Pank causing panic. Edu losing his mind, but still bouncing in a couple of bullets. He's all the way down to 20. Pank, this is all yours, my friend. And oh, The real paranoia, the real panic is this. He runs all the way to tower and now been completely isolated.
And they know Askia's here. They heard the double blast back and they're just trying to flush this guy out of position, and they will.
Oh, in theory, finds Gu at the same time. NTK now in a 1v4.
Got the spike.
It's looking pretty disastrous to me. Fusion with a golden opportunity now to really cut this scoreline. Some cash left in the hands of Union. For Fusion, this was a massive round to take back as they were about to get reset. NTK still with an ultimate to use. He was trying to isolate yet another 1v1. Darker low, 2 players on full. Not a lot of util for this team. NTK!
No!
Stop it! Not again! Meathead trying to be the myth for
No way!
But NTK closes it out! Big layer of surprise has been revealed, though. raafa missing out on a shot on a rotator, but this leads now into the take from Union. Meathead on the front side, shutting one down. Orbital strike to cover it up, and the lockdown at the same time. What a combo coming in here from Fusion to really halt Union in their tracks, and Meathead continues his streak, getting a third. raafa finally with the op, shutting it all down, but there's yet another disadvantage for Union.
And there's no way Fusion let this one go. Surely, right? 2 versus 4?
Surely.
Sight, and Darker's got util to support as well.
You know about the man on top. They barely saw the barrel, I think. Gu sprayed away.
30 seconds left.
And pressured out by the aftershock, but this is actually a little bit possible here with this angle from Gu. Gu just needs to nail his shots. That doesn't happen.
Thank you.
And raafa is gone. Okay, Fusion. Hank going all the way
Oh,
over
the
to
timing! He double checks,
And
and he's dead.
Gu is gone. Great stuff from Fusion, but may have been a tinge of luck, but they have pulled away the rotation from Pank. Everyone else is on the B side currently. Pank currently has an angle, already looking to start things off with a bang for Union. Just couldn't get the shot in. 2-man advantage for Fusion for the Eco Kings. raafa, Askia, NTK. Pretty much all 3 coming in from the same side. The other one is trying to come out of sand. Meathead does take one back. Birdie does the same. NTK is getting chipped down currently on HP, but he finally goes down.
First of all, these trap wires.
Hank needs to back up completely, and the smoke is going to allow them to cross in. What is this smoke, though? What is that lineup from raafa? Headshot positioning perfect off the wall, and Pank through the smoke getting another kill on the Darker, and no Theory! Theory tried to shut down the actual stack. The molly does hit, actually, off the body of Meathead. But this has just become a disaster for Fusion.
And they are corralled here. Fault line for NTK. I don't think it's been. All right, I don't think it's coming up. He just used it.
And raafa gets another one. Just becoming light here for Union. In these last 2 gun rounds, Fusion not really making them sweat, not making them really second guess at all. All the way up the tree, no problems. Here comes Askia with a showstopper. Can he clear the angle? Can he clear the corner? There's 2 players here. Do they know about Meathead? They don't know about Meathead. Meathead, he's gonna get 1 for free, make it 2. Huge from Meathead. And Meathead continues the kill streak as raafa and Pank, last 2 remaining. And Fusion have given themselves a chance. Union put everything on that 3-man flank. They get nothing out of it.
Jesus, Fusion. What a way to keep yourself alive. A fault line from Darker, all the way from Arcade. Stunned Askia and gave just an extra second for Theory to make that rotation. And why Theory's so important is he's the bait. He's everything. And why would you expect a player to be tucked in a corner where a fault line was just set? Meathead keeping his team alive. He's one of the players on this team that everyone highlighted coming into this event. And he stepped up here massively when his team needed it most to stay in this series. But to stay in the series, you gotta keep these players. I think he's gonna drop a wall here, a smoke, maybe even a fault line as well. Spin back from NTK.
Got the first shot. raafa needing to back up. He's stunned up, pulling up the wall. He's not safe. No, the wall. It doesn't extend all the way. And how does Verdi get another one there? NTK out in the open, and he's gone. Askia still waiting for a contact in A main, but his teammate is coming instead.
And Pank needs to get here quickly. They need to maintain this A main control. It's pressure that will be applied, and the spike is not going to get planted in a comfortable spot. Askia's been given a chance to slip through due to the timing of that orbital strike.
Askia can walk on in, but instead he just utilizes the nade to try.
Punishing!
To pick away the spike. Well done with Gu being there for the ping pong. And now Meathead in Theory. Last 2 remaining, trying to take on all of Union. And Theory does shut it down early, but instead now, a 1v2 for Theory as Meathead goes down! and Theory has no chance. Union, one away from the winners finals.
And such good, great coordination between Askia and NTK. Look at the crosshair setup as well. Orbital Strike has gone towards tower a couple of times from Fusion. Ferdy begins to move.
Oh, and Ferdy doesn't even get his showstopper out, and instead Askia returns the favor with his own, and everyone else from the Union bites down on Fusion. One more to go, and it is Edu to try to keep his team in it, but it's not gonna happen. The Union make their way to the Buckeye and Boo, and Brazil have a spot in winners finals.
6 maps won and only 2 maps played. Lotus and